Thank you. That's weird. My bad, y'all. I am sorry. I don't know why. Um, why as of late it's been doing that. I really don't understand why. It's been annoying me. I'll tell you that much. All right, let's go ahead and go on over and send this fresh link out to everybody. There we go. Let me get this out to everybody real quick because, again, I have no idea why like YouTube's been doing that as of late. Every time I go live, the first time, it'll stop. And then the second time would work. It's just been truly annoying. So let me get this out over here and then we can get started. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Grand Rising, it's your boy ABK, and thank you for checking out another one of my weekly forex or not my weekly, it's my intraday / day trade setup. Well, this is more of a live analysis because yesterday I wasn't feeling that great. I had a major headache. I barely got any sleep. I could not focus. Like, I tried looking at the charts and I really could not focus on anything. So that's where I was just like, alright, I'm just gonna go ahead and like not trade or not get on the analysis, you know. So let's go ahead and go over the DXY, what we have here. First things first, let's go on to the monthly time frame just to see how the monthly candle closed, because it is a new month. Let me go ahead and get rid of a lot of these drawings here. So monthly candle closed with a wick to the upside, not even hitting the 50 EMA. It's not necessarily telling me that it's gonna reverse or anything, but that wick to the upside is larger than the actual candle of the actual body of the candlestick. So it's just further confirming that, you know, for me at least, this is for me at least. Let me go ahead and get rid of this fib real quick and then I'll bring it back when I can. That this was just a stop at. That's what it's confirming to me for the US dollar, that was a possible stop hunt to the upside. It's going to retrace, drop down probably to these lows and then pop back up. Who knows? Or it could just literally come back down to the bottom of this wedge and then go bullish. But, you know, as from what I'm seeing on the weekly time frame and on the daily, I still feel like this is going to play out. Let me go ahead and get that fib that I just put away. Both of those can go. There you go. All right, so going on to the 1 hour time frame. Really haven't traded much, you know, like, so DXY right now, this kind of looks like on the 1 hour time frame that this could be a potential get rid of all that stuff right there, because I was waiting for the retracement up here, but it never happened. Price ended up pushing lower to the downside, and right now this kind of just looks like to me an inverted head and shoulders type of vibe. Not really caring for the way how this looks. That looks hella dark to me. Give me a second. Style. I want this to be a little brighter. label. There we go. Right, so put this up over here. Solid. So right here, I'm seeing a possible inverted head and shoulders. That could be pushed. That could potentially push price back up to the likes of 92.958. I still do want that retracement before I look to start to continue selling the DXY. I'm not trying to just get into the sell right now, so I'm gonna wait for this. This is what I'm really going to wait for. 92.953. Put continuation to the downside, because that then the extension for the 38.2 is leading right to that to where that the bottom of the rising wedge is at, you know. So let me put this right here, make it look a little better. There we go. So let's see what happens, but this is ultimately what I'm looking for this morning. I like the way how it looks for potential reversal for off of this right shoulder. And you know, it could potentially even come a little lower and 92.519 before going bullish. But overall, I want to see 92.953 get tapped, and then I will look for some price action patterns, you know. And you know, if I fail, well, not fail, but I'm just gonna be like watching it. And if the alert gets set and I'm trying to get into a trade, I might call it out in the chats, you know. I might be like, okay, I'm getting into this trade, yada yada. I've only been into 2 trades. I was in a Euro USD trade earlier this week that took a loss, and then I took another trade that was like, it's Bitcoin, right? And I've been in that trade since Saturday, I think. And it's, you know, still in profit, still making moves, and I'll talk about that once we get there. Daily time frame on the DXY, it looks like price is going to potentially call for a sell, so we might not get that retracement that I want. Daily time frame, it did show that there is a wick to the downside, and it looks like it just took out these equal lows. So, you know, who knows? Like I said, I just want to see a retracement for a continuation to the downside, but this can indeed be calling for a sell, and playing the sell could play out very shortly. It had called for this 4-hour sell I talked about on Sunday, and you know, daily time frame doesn't look that great. It just looks like a whole lot of consolidation. And again, with the head and shoulders, it is calling for a buy, and it is at this RSI line, and it's holding above the RSI line. So that being said, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna take this setup on arbitrage necessarily, just because of the way how the bands look. You know, they're just so contracted. But I would rather just look for 92.953 before I look to start to sell the DXY. All right. Euro USD. This is all just one trade, because I lost like about 1% of my account off of these 2 moves. Set one for like 0.50, then the other one for 0.50. But so yeah, this was the previous trade setup that I had wanted for EU. Boom, boom, dropped down, and it didn't necessarily give me that. If I would have took it at the first time, it would have paid me out. But that's just me talking to myself. Let me go ahead and hide these drawings so we can take a look at the monthly candle. Monthly candle doesn't look like it necessarily wants to close under this 50 EMA, and it doesn't necessarily look like it wants to keep dropping off of this. But again, I would rather just look for some type of retracement before it ends up falling hardcore, you know. That's just like that's what I'm seeing on like EU, right? Like, I do see, yes, it could potentially keep falling, but I would need it to, you know, I mapped it out. I had mapped it out like, oh, if it's probably going to end up doing something like this. It's going to break out, retest, continuation. This could be exactly where it holds for that, but you know, I'm just not super crazy over the way how EU is looking right now. It looks like it's just gonna, right? It looks like it just might keep going bullish. Well, not might keep going bullish. What I'm seeing personally, I do see the head and shoulders that it could have played out, which would have been something like this. although it never came back down here. So that's why it won't even work out, right? But however, 4-hour time frame, equal highs. I don't know. I don't think that this is an equal highs type of play, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, I think that the DXY is going to push to the downside, so I think this play is what's going to end up making the move. It's going to be the breakout, retest, continuation, so these can skedaddle. And you know, I don't know. I've taken 2 L's in a row on EU trying to trade it. Although yes, I do see. Yes, like I said, this is why I was saying that this could be like just a liquidity hunt. I mean, a liquidity grab to the upside from these equal highs right here. Let me get rid of that. 1.18358 got rejected. Price dropped down. It's currently at the 61.8 Fibonacci zone for a potential push to the downside, right? But if I go to the DXY, if I go over to the DXY, I wouldn't be able to say the same about, like, let's say if it's from this low to this high. Oh, actually, I would be able to say the same because there was a wick that came down. Okay. Actually, then this is where higher time frame and lower time frame conflict comes in. Let me get my phone. Hold on. I forgot to actually join. What the heck? There it is. Sorry. The heck? All right. So like I was saying, this is where conflict of two different analysis can pop up, right? So on the lower time frames, yes, I do see this head and shoulders potential. Price push to the upside, 92.953, then push to the downside, right? I do see it. However, since this is lower time frame, this is more of a lower time frame, and overall, we do have to acknowledge that the DXY is in an uptrend. Like, as much as this rising wedge looks like it's gonna play out, we do have to acknowledge that this is an uptrend. From this low, where price had doubled bottom down here, to this high, price did come back to this 71% fib, which I didn't even notice. I mean, it came very close to it, you know? Like, I would not have been able to get a trade off of that if I was able to trade the US indices. But, you know, the potential of this going high, like going up to 93.295, it definitely does exist. And I honestly like that play more than trying to sell the DXY, because I still feel like this is bullish. I really do still feel like this is bullish. So I do actually, yeah, like this is somewhat of a valid buy box to me overall, like in a higher time frame for me to look for buys on the DXY. I'm not quite convinced yet that this is gonna go bearish. I'm not quite convinced yet, you know. And even off of this higher time frame, it kind of does look like there's a head and shoulders pattern. But again, I'm not quite convinced that this is gonna sell yet. Unless it comes up to like 93.295, then I'll start to think that maybe. But other than that, not really feeling any type of potential sells off of this, you know. So, going back to Euro USD, although yes, the daily time frame is calling for a sell on arbitrage, I mean, it's not calling for a sell yet. It's setting up, but it's still not there yet. And same thing, like right here, guys, opposite of Euro USD. This is something that I did not notice on the weekly analysis, and that's something that I should have pointed out. Or not buy box, sell box. Because right now, we have to confirm that price is making, like it is from here, it is making lower lows. It did make a lower low right here. This could have been a stop hunt, but it did make a lower low. We cannot deny that fact. Daily time frame, same thing. From this high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Did come back up here as if it was gonna keep going bullish, but then it did make a lower low down here. So, you know, it's just I don't think the DXY is gonna go bearish. I honestly am having my doubts. You know, what I would look for on EU this morning. Go on to the 30-minute time frame. What I would look for this morning, I like the rejection off of here. I like the sell. The retracement that happens on this lower time frame is what I'm going to be looking to get into for a sell. So 1.18300, I'm going to be looking for a buy opportunity here. I mean a sell opportunity. Set my alert. Why is there? Oh, what the heck? Remove. Yes, that's not what I wanted to set an alert on. I wanted to set an alert on this. There we go. So once price gets to 1.18300, then I will start to look for some sells. I'm either going to put my stop loss either A, which I don't recommend, 1.18470, because price could literally just come back up to 1.18545 at that 78.6, or I'm going to get into a long-term sell where my stop loss is going to be above these highs, you know, and then I'm going to have like a take profit to see if price is going to make a lower low type of vibe, you know. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not necessarily, like I said, I'm not really feeling the sell. I'm more feeling the buy. So once that happens, I mean, I'm not feeling the buy, I'm feeling more of the sell on Euro USD. So if this plays out, then I'm definitely gonna hop in. I'm gonna set a sell limit up here, depending on. Let me see what the news looks like actually. Let me refresh this. Oh, we do have NFP this week, huh? That is true. I forgot all about NFP. Okay, so I'm definitely not gonna have that small stop loss. I'm definitely gonna have a wide stop loss like this because of NFP, right? I don't like trading intraday when NFP is approaching like how it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this swing. I'm gonna take the swing trade. I'm gonna set my buy limit once this live is over. I mean sell limit, and then yeah, I'm feeling the sell on EU. However, I do know on the daily time frame over here, it's setting up for a buy. I do see that. The daily time frame is not looking good for a buy. This daily candlestick is not looking good for a buy, no cap. But that's what overall, like, you know, arbitrage is starting to look like it wants to do. It's not there quite yet. That's why I'm saying that, you know, it's going to be like a swing trade, 80 pip stop loss. But I'm feeling the sells for sure. This 1 hour time frame price is above the upper danger zone, so I wouldn't take this sell right here. I would wait until price got under the RSI line. And the 4 hour time frame, it is setting up for a sell, but it's not quite there yet. So, you know, like I said, there's things that I'm seeing, but I would rather just wait for this buy limit over here. You know, this fib desk right here is only for the entry, but I like this play for it to come back up 1.18300, drop to the downside. And if it falls from here, then it is what it is. I will be taking that, like, where is price is like right there. That's like 15 pips. I'm not gonna get in trade 15 pips away from my entry. That's kind of a lot. All right, 80 USD. Let's go on to that daily time frame. Okay. So I had an alert set over here on AUD USD for a potential sell, but I was mentioning that I'm like, you know what? I'm not really feeling too comfortable trying to trade AUD USD, try to get into that sell over here because I saw this overall swing and I'm like, this just looks like the 61.8. from like this daily swing, because as we can acknowledge as well on AUD USD on the daily time frame, it is making higher highs and higher lows. High, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, came back up, then made a lower low over here. Or let me just do high, low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It's like making lower highs and lower lows, right? So right here, especially since I'm looking at selling Euro USD, would be the best possible place for me to look for sells, right? Daily time frame doesn't really necessarily look like it's gonna try to sell off. Let me go into the monthly, and then I'm gonna go ahead and close off all my drawings, and let me take a look at this month. Yeah, that month it closed this month it closed under the 50 EMA. I do not like the wick that is pointing to the downside, but in my opinion, that's just telling me that, oh, okay, this wick is probably going to end up getting filled up or something like that, you know? Because overall, let me go to a different AUD USD chart so I could show this on a weekly time frame. Don't mind that 50 EMA. So from this high to this low, if somebody was a position trader, then they would have been eating off of this move from the 78.6. Although price did drop down a little bit lower, they'd be, but this is still in a buy area. It's like in a potential buy area, you know? It's like in a potential place where price could indeed just reject off of and continue going bullish. But the fact that, like I said, on the daily time frame, that price is just making lower highs and lower lows is what's making me really want to sell AUD USD way more than try to buy it, right? So go back onto that 4-hour time frame. I think that where it's at is a good position to try to get into a sell. A long-term sell does not look terrible for me, in my opinion. I don't know when's the last time I shorted AUD USD long term. But yeah, my stop loss will be up here where these equal highs are. And only if price starts to get up there, that's when I'll be tripping over, okay, these equal highs are probably going to get ran through. But this is what I'm looking at for AUD USD as well as with Euro USD. And this is overall, right? This is not no intraday setup. This is a swing. This is a swing-a-ding-ding. So that's what I'm looking at for AUD USD, because personally speaking, I don't see anything here on the lower time frames except for, oh, this could have been equal highs that price wanted to just like run through and then come back. Like it could potentially sell off like at 0.73437, but overall I just want to swing it, especially since it's NFP week. I am not really that interested in trading anything intraday this week. I'm not really trying to be on the charts like that. I could be, but not really trying to, you know. So that's for AUD USD. USHEF. All right, USHEF. This is what I wanted played out on USHEF that never happened. I'm gonna go ahead and remove drawings from that and check out the monthly time frame real quick. Monthly time frame, just a bunch of consolidating for the past 3 months, really. Weekly time frame, price is still holding under the, well, it's holding around that 50 EMA. Right now it's currently above the 50 EMA on both the daily and the weekly time frame. Okay, so my thing with USHEF is that, let me go into the 4-hour time frame so it's just better to see it, is that it's just been, ooh, I did not mean to press that, get out of here, is that price is currently just rejecting off of this zone. Regular, okay, just rejecting off of this zone, and I'm really like, okay, at this point, what's the thing that I see with a lot of other pairs? Just possibly liquidity grab. But since I want to see the DXY go bullish, and although I do really still feel like USHEF is gonna go bullish, at this point I can't trade it. You know, there's no setup for me that I would like, because I wouldn't want this to retrace down to 0.91300 and then go bullish. No, I just would rather it, just go bullish at this point. Like from this downward push, we can see where it's been rejecting off of 71% here, almost 71% rejected off of here again. When I see price coming back up to this zone multiple times like that, I just feel like price is just going to end up breaking through it, right? So at this point, I just need to see a resistance fail happen. That's for me on USHEF. I need to see a resistance fail happen. Don't know how many of you guys know that, but yeah, I just, same thing with over here. Like I just see these equal highs over here getting ran through, or just a breakout and then a continuation. That's what I'm seeing on USHEF, quite honestly. So let me go ahead and put this back. And if anything off of this, if anything, I would probably play out a buy stop above these highs or something like that. If I wanted to trade it, but I don't. There's no setup or no entry or nothing for me on USHEF. Daily time frame, daily time frame's been calling buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. And it's just not. It's not showing one thing, So daily time frame, I'm not really caring for how it looks. 4-hour time frame called for the buy last. It's currently at the upper danger zone right here, but I'm not going to try to trade that because I'm not looking for sells. And the 1-hour time frame over here called for a buy, and it's just been super sloppy. So like I said, just like how it's been consolidating on the monthly time frame and on the weekly time frame, it's just not a good play for me. I'd rather just at this point, again, wait for the resistance fail to play out, and then we'll see what happens there. So I'm actually, okay, SPX. Well, it looks like from this drop that happened here, price came up to the 38.2 extension. Let it just keep playing out. US 30 been consolidating. I really feel like either today or tomorrow is gonna break out and then continue going to the upside. I do not think that this resistance is gonna hold. Like, although I'm pretty sure a bunch of people sold from here, and hey, if you sold from there, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just the same thing as with USD CHF. I feel like the resistance fail is gonna play out, and then price is just gonna keep going until it reaches up to 36,000 or 36,300. That's what I'm really think is gonna happen with those US indices. They're just gonna keep making higher highs. USD Mexican. So like I mentioned, I should have taken the sell, and it came back and even gave me a potential another sell, right? But things happen. Prices, USD Mexican is moving as I've been mentioning, it is moving. So yeah, there's no setup there for me either. Dang, there's a lot of pairs that not playing with me. All right, gold has been consolidating this whole time. What? That's wild. Oh, actually, let me go into the 1-hour time frame and see what it looks like better. Currently above this 50 EMA, I feel like that's gonna get respected. Even based off of how it looks on these low time frames right here. Like, I feel like I still want to see 1848. I feel like this zone right here is gonna get violated. I still feel that way. I don't think that price is gonna necessarily just reject off of there. Let me go on to the monthly time frame, and so you guys can take a look at gold. That monthly time frame is not telling me that this thing wants to sell. But since there's a long wick and it came down to these equal lows right here, I can't act like that these equal lows won't get ran through eventually. These are gonna get ran through eventually, and I feel like this wick, this monthly candle wick, I feel like it might end up just getting filled back up. I wouldn't want it to where it's currently at. I want that 1847. I'd rather want that 1847. But just the way how price even moved down there that fast and then came right back up is what's alarming to me. For me to say that, okay, just think about it. How many times do we see something like a wick like this right here, and then we say that, oh, eventually this wick is going to get filled up before price potentially keeps going back down, or it goes and makes its actual move or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm kind of just hesitant. I'm kind of hesitant on trying to really necessarily trade this right now. I'd rather just like I said, 1847, 1865. If price can go up bullish on those in that end, then I'd be like, okay, that's where I'll try to look for a sell, right? 1 hour time frame price has been consolidating. I don't like the way how the bands look. I wouldn't trade that. 4 hour time frame is possibly looking for a sell, but it's not quite there yet. And I definitely wouldn't recommend trying to get into that. Daily time frame is calling for a buy. So, you know, that 1862, 1860, 1866 area might be coming true. Not so sure, but that's what I'm waiting for. And this weekly time frame is consolidating as well, so it just looks like a whole bunch of rubbish. You know, there's this mean line right here at 1829, but I still stand by what I was saying over here. I want to see 1847 or 1869 because price has just been rejecting off of this zone, and I don't necessarily want to sell it from right here. It just looks like these equal highs are going to get ran through. Stop hunt, get that 1847 or 1865, and then drop down. That's what I kind of see here. But again, that wick on the weekly and the monthly, it's not the greatest look for me to think that price is going to sell. But the fact that it came down to these lows and left that wick like that, I kind of feel like the wick is going to get filled back up somehow, some way. So that's just my opinion on that. Let's go ahead and see how things play out, you know. I'm going to go ahead and set the alert there. If price holds right there at this resistance and keeps falling, I'd be surprised, quite honestly. All right, bitty Bitcoin. So monthly time frame, get rid of all these. Monthly time frame, nice bullish candle. It's not an engulfing candle of any sort, but it's a nice bullish candle, right? That's what we ultimately wanted to see. Just that candle close, what it looked like. Daily time frame. Wait, hold on. Go to the 4 hour time frame because this is the setup that I was looking for, and you know, price it's played out nicely from this high. From this high to this low. Wait, was it this low? I don't think so. It definitely wasn't. It was more of this low. From this high to this low, price retraced up 78.6. It worked up a little higher than that. They ended up dropping and falling pretty nicely, if you asked me, right? I got into the trade at 48,000, like 48,900 or something like that. Price ended up falling. It's hit the 38.2 extension goal and the 61.8 extension goal off of this move, so this played out perfectly. My take profit is at 46,000 right here, so I still am in trade, and I'm like, dang, I wish it would have went down there, and I still think it will, right? I still think that it will eventually get down to like 45,000, then continue going bullish. However, it could definitely go bullish from right here. So I've taken most of my profits so that I'm able to actually, I was actually able to recoup from my EU losses. And so I'm just waiting to see how this Bitcoin plays out. I do still think that price is going to come down and then try to come and hit like up to these 54,000 areas. So I'm still watching for this to still come and push lower, you know. I still want to see 46,000 get hit, and then let's see what happens from there. This weekly time frame, I don't like seeing that magenta candle necessarily for a potential sell. The setup is still calling for a sell. It hasn't called for a buy yet. It probably won't until until price makes more, like comes up to like 53 or 54,000. Daily time frame, looks like it's starting to set up for a sell. If these lows get broken, then yeah, this sell might get called. Eventually, 4 hour time frame, it called for a sell. Looks like it's retracing. If it holds here, then it could continue falling down. But the 1 hour, I'm sure, is going for a buy. Yep. So with this 1 hour, everything else is bearish on. Well, not everything else. Like, things are looking bearish. But, you know, if I was trying to get into a buy, that would be the play. But I'm watching what Bitcoin's going to do right now. I'm still watching what Bitcoin's going to do. I'm not satisfied with how things are looking until the price comes back down to these lows, in my honest opinion. That's just my honest opinion about it. Ripple has been bouncing off this buy box right here, which is pretty clean. I still want to see $1.50. Like, my targets for these things are still the same. I still want to see this supply zone get hit, and you know, if they don't get hit, then it is what it is. But this looks like it wants to go bullish and continue making higher highs, which is a good thing. 1 hour time frame been called for this buy, but I would not have gone into that, quite honestly. This 4 hour time frame, ooh, that played out pretty nicely. Would have had some drawdown, but still. Daily time frame looks like it's setting up for a sell as well, so that's one thing that I'm going to be watching out for. I'm watching out for this sell that's setting up. And you know, as I've been mentioning, the weekly time frame has really never called for that sell on Ripple, so that's always a good thing for the bulls, at least, right? Ethereum is getting deeper and deeper into this demand zone, and it's getting closer to the paint-in target of 3600. Again, guys, I'm watching to see what these cryptos are going to do at this 3600 area, or even 3800. If it gets to that area and showing that it's going to reject, and if you have any Ethereum, then you might want to consider pulling out some profits and letting the rest ride. You know, there's nothing wrong with taking profits off of your exchange. Like, you've been holding these cryptos. It came down to one of our 3 targets. You know, I think I had mentioned that, oh, you could start dollar cost averaging like at 33,000 or like 31,000. I forgot what price it was necessarily, but just from one of these targets that I've been talking about, just from 1745, you've already made double your money, right? You've already, if you would have gone into exchange and this target that I mentioned about, one of these 3 targets, you already made 100% off of that, right? But again, I'm not so certain about what price is going to do at this supply zone, so you just got to watch out for that. But yeah, this thing has been crazy bullish, man. Ethereum has been crazy bullish. That's crazy. I love how it's going up like that, and Bitcoin is just, you know, like over here chilling. You know, I'm in the selling everything while Ethereum is doing the digital dash to the upside. So 3600 definitely loading. All right, let's go on over to GBP USD. My setup still remains the same. I still want to see for these GBPs, for me to sell them, to come up to 1.38754. Although I do know that where price is currently at is a possibility for it to sell, because, you know, just taking it from where I actually want to get into a sell, look where it's rejecting off of, and this lines up with like EU and AU as well. Like, this looks like, oh, it's just gonna end up falling. If I can get a retracement back up to like 1.37858, that's where I would look to try to get into a GU sell, because again, I want to get into a sell up here, but price can definitely sell off from here. That's what it actually looks like it's gonna do, like sell off from 1.37994 or something like that. Just continue with the move, you know. A head and shoulders could pop up right here for sure. Like, you know, if price decides to, oh, I need to shape this out better, I guess. There we go. Like, if price comes back up to this right shoulder, I might play it out, because the right shoulder does line up pretty nicely with my fib zone. Let me get rid of this real quick. 1.37855 is not a bad area for me to look for a potential sell on GU if it does come up here and give me that entry. All right, so that's what I'm peeping on GU. If the head and shoulder does play out, then I'll probably end up getting into it. Oops. Where is it this one? Nope, not that one. There we go. Right? Because again, it just looks like it's going to play out the sell over here rather than come up to my entry. Now, if price does end up coming here and I set up my stop loss above these highs and it gets wicked, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be like, oh, I should have just kept my analysis. But, you know, like I said, I'm just going based off of what current price action is looking like and how the other USD related pairs are looking as well. So, yeah, if I can get that price up to 1.37857, that's Fuego Diego to me. Oops, let me go into arbitrage. Almost forgot. 1 hour time frame, very much consolidating like manner. It's called for a sell. It's currently under the RSI line. I would need it to push up a little higher though. 4 hour time frame, been holding at this upper danger zone. So that's a good sign for me to potentially see a reversal coming in. The second and third deviations are pointing to the downside. So that's pretty solid to me. And the daily time frame has been calling for this sell and it's rejected off of here. So, you know, this sell right here can definitely play out, but again, I'm just going to need price to do me a favor and come on up to like 1.37856 and then reject there, then go bearish. That'd be solid because then I'll be able to get into a trade. And if not, it is what it is, right? All right, let's go on over to, like, I'm watching that. GA. This was another pair that I got into a trade and I actually took an L from the looks of it because I wanted the price to reject over here and then go bullish. Never happened. Thank goodness I did not risk that much on that trade. I risked like $200, I think, or something like that. Like I was saying, I was thinking that price was going to come up to like 1.90582 and then go continue bearish, but I mean, it looks like it had different plans, so I'm going to go ahead and remove those drawings. Going to go to the monthly time frame, take a look at what it's looking like. A potential, depending on how this candle closes, the potential evening star might play out, but I'm bearish on AUD USD, so me seeing GA like this is kind of like, okay, right now it looks like to me that you're just like, we're literally trying to just run through these lows at this point. That's what it's looking like to me, that these lows are just getting ran through. So I'm gonna have to be patient and wait and see what happens, although I know from this low to this high, because it's from this low that price really started to like make another bullish run. 71% right there. Let's see what happens. You know, like I said, this looks like these lows are going to get ran through. It's at a 71% from this low to this high, because again, this is the candlestick that started the catalyst for price to just keep pushing to the upside. So if these lows are indeed was getting ran through, then I want to see it on a lower time frame, like here. Okay, so see this candlestick right here, and then a bullish candlestick happen. Although this is not a doji candle, this is not considered to me a morning star. It still looks like, okay, this might end up going to the upside for reals, especially where I'm looking at AUD USD to fall. And usually if AUD USD is falling, GA is going to rise. So right at this level, it's a decent place to start looking for buys, quite honestly. I wouldn't hold it against you if you were bullish on GA, because I am. And I'm like, and again, the price, we cannot deny that on the higher time frames, price is in an uptrend. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw this out. Let's see what happens for reals. But I am definitely optimistic on the buys for GA. And it's funny because with GA is a pair that I don't even like. I don't care for looking at the GBPs when it comes to GA. I look at AUD/USD more because I feel like this relies more on the strength or weakness of AUD/USD more than with GBP in general. All right, GJ. So glad I did try to get into this. These equal highs got ran through from the looks of it, and it looks like prices is going to keep going higher. I don't have my alert set here, but this is where I was saying that I want to see price come up to 152.491 for me to continue selling it, and it looks like things are going according to. Broke out for these equal highs, and you see this is why when I usually see a zone that gets hit multiple times, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's more of an indication that it's going to get ran through, or it's not even going to get respected, right? So with that being said, price can definitely show where it's at right now and like even potentially go bearish, but like again, 152.491, that's where I'm looking at for price to climb up to before I look to sell it overall, and I'm gonna stick by that. Like, it's not a bad play for me whatsoever. And even if price, like, let's say, let me get my Fib back up. Let's say that price gets to like 152.126. If I start to see rejections there, then that's when I'll be like, okay, this could be a possible thing for me. Daily time frame is starting to look like it's going to call for a buy. I'm not going to try to get into that. 4-hour time frame, the upper danger zone has been breached. Deviations 2 and 3, it looks like price is like they're pointing up, so that means that it looks like price is going to continue going bullish. And the 1-hour time frame has been called for a buy, like right here, but it was sloppy on this anyways. So, you know, like I said, I'm just sticking to the plan on GJ. 152.463 or 440, wherever it is. If that gets hit, then I'll watch for the price action, and I want to look to sell GJ. All right. And last but not least, let's take a look at Euro GBP. I took an L from this right here with those equal highs. I thought that price was going to end up pushing lower to the downside. And with GJ moving how it is, I would have thought that's exactly what was going to play out, but apparently not, right? Let's go ahead and delete these. Like when I see GJ rising and then EG not doing anything, I'm just like, okay, that must be from the influence of the Japanese yen, right? So regardless, I just kind of see this getting ran through. I mean, overall, this could definitely try to come up to 0.86065 and then go bearish. It definitely can. But I'm more bullish on EG than anything. And I still kind of want to see this move play out. Like, this is overall what I wanted to see. The fake out, push to the downside, retracement, continuation to the upside. To at least come to these equal highs. That's what I'm trying to see, right? So, like, let's just say from these lows, right? That's what I'm trying to see. I want to see price literally come back down to like 0.8500 and then start to look like it's going to go bullish. I'm not going to try to trade it off of these equal highs because that's just, I feel like that would just set me up for failure. If I were to try to get a stop hunt move right here, I'd be in losses right now, you know? 4-hour time frame looks like this is about to drop. Just based off of these wicks right here as well, looks like it's about to drop possibly. So again, I just want to see overall this move play out. I don't have an entry here because again, I took a loss from this move. Like, I took 3 losses actually this week and I didn't even know it. I have not looked at my MT4 at all. So it's like, or MT4, MT5, whatever you want to call it. I trade on both. So yeah, like EG, this is something that's going to be interesting, but I want to see this retracement of continuation to the upside overall. You know, EG over like on a daily time frame, on the weekly time frame, you could definitely be like, yes, this is definitely bearish, right? I want to start seeing the signs of the bulls come in, but I want to see on these lower time frame first because it's making lower lows, despite popular belief. It is making lower lows, like high, low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low. Came and hit these highs and then made a lower low up here, down here. It could definitely make a lower low here, but I'm trying to see it come. Like I said, I'm trying to see some bullish action on Euro GBP. Same thing here. Took the loss. I mean, I could have easily. Where did I take this trade off of? On the 4 hour? I think I took it right here. I could have easily just got off the trade right here and called it a day. Like, it was a 25 pip stop loss. I could have easily just took a 10 pip stop loss and called it a day. But, you know, I wasn't paying attention to arbitrage. Like I said, I was not feeling good yesterday at all. Or the day before. So, I didn't really trade that much. But other than that, guys, yeah, with EG, although I do want to see it push to the downside, arbitrage is looking like it wants to keep going up. So, just be careful. I don't have anything for EG, really. Is there any pairs that anybody else wants me to look at, or am I good to get out of here? Like, let's see. Alright, nothing. Alright, guys. Well, thank you for hopping on. I appreciate it. And again, I do apologize for not hopping on yesterday for those who wanted to hop on. Again, I just wasn't feeling that great. I appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. And let's see what the rest of the market brings this week. So later, y'all. Oh, I said 3. Well, yeah. What you mean? I am a fool. I know.